Long ago, in a small fishing village by the sea, there was a young man. He grew up with the dream of becoming a great fisherman, like his father and grandfather before him. Yet every time he looked out at the sea, a vague fear rose in his heart. Fear of the waves, fear of the wind, fear of failure. On his first day at sea, he held the oar with trembling hands. The ocean was not as gentle as he imagined. After only a few strong waves, the boat shook. He caught no fish, and he returned empty-handed, filled with shame and disappointment. In his sorrow, he met an old fisherman whom the villagers called the friend of the sea. The old man looked into the young man's doubtful eyes, smiled softly, and said, "The sea does not only give you fish, it also teaches you strength. But first, you must learn to empty yourself." The old man led him to the shore, where there was a small, worn boat. Handing him the oar, he said, "Row this boat." But first, look inside. The young man bent down and saw the boat was filled with rainwater. It was heavy, almost impossible to move. The old man said, "Pour it all out." Surprised, the young man scooped out bucket after bucket, throwing the water back into the sea. When the boat was empty, it became light, gliding easily across the water. He was astonished. Such a small act had changed everything. The old man smiled. "If you carry water in the boat, you will sink. In the same way, if you carry doubts in your heart, you will collapse before you ever reach the sea." The young man looked out at the horizon, and something lit up inside him. He understood. What made him heavy was not the waves outside, but the doubts he had filled within. The old man leaned on his oar, his eyes fixed on the far horizon, his voice deep and steady. The sea has never been easy. There are big waves, storms, times it takes away boats and even lives. But the fishermen who are truly strong are not strong because they avoid the waves. They are strong because they set sail with an empty boat, carrying no fear, carrying no doubts. He paused, looked straight at the young man. "You think strength comes from your hands, from your muscles, but no. True strength comes from faith. Faith that you can keep going. Faith that each wave is not an enemy, but a teacher showing you how to steer." The young man stayed silent. Every word was like a wave, striking his heart. He remembered all the times he had trembled, all the times he had given up, not because the sea was too fierce, but because he had filled his boat with fear and doubt. The old man chuckled softly. "When the boat is light, you can go far. When your heart is empty, you can discover your true strength." At that moment, the young man no longer saw the sea as terrifying. It was still vast, still full of challenges, but within the waves. He felt a hand inviting him forward. The story of the boat is also the story of our lives today. Each morning, we too prepare to set sail on the boat of life. But instead of keeping it light, many of us carry buckets of water filled with worries. Sometimes that water is work pressure, endless deadlines, fear of being replaced. Sometimes it is financial burdens, debts, bills, loans. Sometimes it is the voices in our head. "I'm not good enough. I will surely fail." The more we carry, the heavier the boat becomes. The more we doubt, the slower our steps. And one day, we can no longer move forward, and we sink by our own doing. But what if we dared to empty it? What if we dared to pour out the doubts in our hearts? We would realize our boat is still strong enough to cross the waves. And the vast sea would no longer be a threat, but a journey that shapes us. The next day, the young man returned to the shore. This time, his heart was not filled with fear. He pushed the empty boat into the waves. The sea was still rough, but each stroke of his oar was steady, calm. He realized the waves were no smaller than yesterday, but his heart had changed. Without fear holding him back, he saw the sea not as an enemy, but as a challenge, and also a guide helping him grow. In that moment, he smiled. Life, like the sea, never promises calm waters, but it is always honest. Waves may knock us down, but they can also lift us higher. The key is what we carry inside when we set sail. Empty your doubts. When your heart is light, you will discover the true strength to move forward. If this story has given you peace, share it. And walk with Life Motivation Tales, where small stories awaken great strength within you.